So my grandfather, my papa, was such a big advocate, is such a big role model in my life to just take the facts and do something about it. Alright, this might be the one. There's still a chance it's going to blur out. I'm pretty sure it will blur out, but this is supposed to be even better. You guys can see my bags. It's just what it is. I haven't been sleeping very well. I haven't been feeling very well. I've been having a ton of migraines. And as you might have seen from my last video, I had briefly mentioned, because the video had gotten deleted, sadly. It's only a 4-minute long video, because the video has been deleted. Awesome! But clips, I have to put them in a video, and I'm going to add to it. Love you! So, give me 5. Thank you. Are you playing your car? Go play. So, what is spinal stenosis? Let's Google it. So, I'll give you guys a real, honest-to-God scientific explanation of this fun stuff. Here it is. I can't even spell it. My brain hurts too much. So, we're going to voice type you. Alright. Here we go. What is spinal stenosis?
In the medical field, stenosis means an abnormal narrowing of the body's channel, body channel. When combination with the word spinal, it defines narrowing of the bone canal occupied by the spinal nerves or the spinal cord. Some people are born with a congenital form of this, but most develop spinal stenosis as a part of a degenerate cascade. A few do not feel any effects of the narrowing, but as a part of the aging process, most people will eventually notice radiating pain, weakness, and numbness secondary to the compression of the nerves in the spinal column. Weakness or numbness secondary to the compression of the nerves or spinal cord. While the narrowing may occur at different parts of the spine, the symptoms of nerve compression are often similar. This is why specialists often will perform tests determining the cause of location of narrowing. Okay, and then lumbar versus cervical stenosis. I have spinal stenosis. This is a different part. The lower back develops lumbar stenosis, while the neck develops cervical stenosis. Lumbar spinal stenosis is a lumbar stenosis. The spinal nerves, roots, and lower back became compressed, and this can produce symptoms of sciatica, tingling, weakness, or numbness to the radiation, which radiates from the low back onto the buttocks and legs, especially with activity. Now, that's just that, okay?
So here we go. We get a little bit more dramatic here, and this is where I get scared and I get angry, and I love your guys' comments, so here it comes.
Lumbar spinal stenosis often mimics symptoms of vascular insufficiency. Both conditions can cause I don't know what that word is. Calculation, which means leg pain with walking. If vascular studies identify normal blood flow and there is confirmation of spinal stenosis on diagnostic testing, the symptoms are often called neurogenic. I don't know what that is. In the classic description, people with spinal stenosis will describe onset of leg pain or weakness with walking, but will relief with symptoms when sitting. Many will also describe increased tolerance to walking with when flexed forward, such as when walking while leaning forward on a shocking cord. I can agree to that too. While lumbar spinal stenosis most often occurs at L4 through L5 and L3 to L4 levels, it can occur at any level in the spine, and the degeneration cascade may eventually affect most of the vertebrae segments and the lumbar spine. Cervical stenosis, spinal stenosis, pain in the neck is also called cervical spine stenosis. This condition means that there is potential compression of the spinal cord. Unfortunately, the spinal cord compression can lead to serious problems such as extreme weakness or even paralysis. With cervical stenosis, anyone who develops the signs of spinal cord compression, I can't even pronounce it. I'll put it on the screen. Myelopathy may need more invasive treatment, such as surgery. Thoracic stenosis can also occur, but it is less common. The thoracic part of the spine is the middle upper portion of the spine, and mainly consists of the vertebrae that are attached to the rib cage. This stable and strong part of the spine allows for minimal movement, which is why degeneration conditions such as spinal stenosis are likely to develop. Oh, it makes me mad. Spinal stenosis and the aging of the spine. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because I am 32 in 2 months, and I should not be experiencing any of this. So what it has to do with is a very rare diagnosis, so here it comes. Spinal stenosis is related to degeneration in the spine and usually will become significant in the 5th decade of the life, meaning in the 50s. I'm like 20 years too soon. Decade of the life, and extend through every substance age group. Subsequent. Through every age group, and it is a gradual process that rarely causes immediate symptoms. The subtle changes of spinal stenosis often result in a gradual decrease in physical activity and development of more I don't know what that word is too. KYPHOTIC definition or forward flexed posture, which is what they're saying is that I lean forward. Yes, I totally agree. Okay, and I also have a disc supposedly in my neck that's protruding inward, so that's causing a lot of this too, with the compression. The gradual accommodation. Okay, this gradual accommodation may be evident when looking at a series of oneself in pictures over the course of several years. After age 50, it is typical to start stooping forward. Hold on. Where did I put it? It is typical to start stooping forward more and become less active as the effects of the spinal stenosis increase. So,
that's just a graphic of it. And I'm going to put the links to this actual information so you guys can read a little further into it if you'd like and see the videos that are attached to it, because I can't actually put them on YouTube. Thanks, YouTube, for that drama. Anyway, so the compression and the whole problems that I've been having, and even the partial paralysis I have done plenty of videos about, which I'll try to either go in depth in another video or here that kind of explain what had happened. But now that I have a definition of what exactly the fuck has been going on and why I'm in so much pain and why this numbness and issues with just simple tasks are so difficult. Now, the frustrating part is, and I've said this in my last video and I'm going to state it again because it really needs to be said, is that I have to fire my primary. Primary does not know yet that I have to fire her. I'm going to have a conversation with her first and then see, do you want to continue to take me or put me with a new doctor or give me a reference to somebody else? Because I don't believe my primary was actually going out of her way not to give me information. I think she really doesn't know. And because I am of the age I am and because she's not a specialist for spinal problems, and she had already sent me to other doctors and they didn't want to take the time because unfortunately I'm disabled, so I don't have the very best insurance. And because of that being so, it's a lot more, let's say, cha-ching for the insurance company to keep me unhappy and in pain so that they have to keep treating me. So they have work, so they have money, so they have revenue. With that being said, I'm going to level with my primary and be like, look, I know that you probably didn't personally try to put me in this position, but you had this information in your hands since January of 2016, and now we're in August of 2017. That is ridiculous in my opinion that it's such a severe case, it's extreme, it's dangerous, and I've been given no real, information about it. I wasn't even diagnosed. What they told me was that I had lower tears in my lower back and the muscles. Lower back tears. That's it. They said my neck looked fine. There was a little bit of issue with the disc that was impacted and moved forward. A slip disc that's moved forward. But there wasn't anything significant in my neck. For that being the situation, that's almost malpractice. And I'm not about to have to go there unless I really have to. So it's kind of been frustrating for me because on one hand, I do believe my doctor really does care. And on the other hand, I think she's just doing her job one day at a time. And that's just not okay. I have a small child that I take care of every single day by myself with zero help. I don't have extra babysitters on hand all the time. And I definitely don't rely on babysitters because I prefer to take care of my child myself. So to know that I have this serious condition and that the insurance company has not helped me in other ways that I've begged them to, meaning additional therapy, pain management that did not include addicting narcotics or any narcotics of any sort, the insurance company does not want to pay for anything non-narcotic. They would love to pay for some narcotics. And I just won't take it because it won't work. And now that I have all this information, being what the diagnosis is of my actual problem, puts me in a very unique situation because now I have to basically be a complete and utter bitch about my health. And it means that publicly I am never going to stop vlogging because it's official now. This is like the life I have now, and in 5 years will be very different. Better, worse, I don't know. But this is the life I have right now, and it needs to be documented. I've got issues with my hand that has not improved. I've got issues with my back that are now getting worse. And I've got zero help. When I went and saw this pain doctor, I was standing at the counter waiting to be seen for 8 minutes. And the receptionist was on the phone. So I'm standing in front of her with the stroller, rocking my child back and forth, trying to wait for her to get off the phone, even though I came to the appointment on time with this pain doctor. And the reason I went to the pain doctor was to get a different kind of plan, because we already know that I am not a candidate for cortisone injections. At least that's what I have been told by all the other doctors. So I'm coming to this doctor now because I don't want to be on narcotics, and I'm not a candidate for injections. I wanted to see if they could do the burning of the nerves or do something. But I had not been told at that point what exact diagnosis I had. Hadn't even been alarmed at that point how serious this condition is. So, I'm a mess. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm a mess in the fact that I'm in pain. I used the last bit of money that I had to get to that doctor's appointment. You know, I'm a single mom, so any little amount of money that I put out there to get to a doctor's appointment, it's not fun. It's reality. I have to do it. So, I go to this doctor's appointment. I am standing in front of the woman. She gets off the phone and says, "Hold on a second." Walks over to the doctor's nurse's station, and then walks back after like another 5 minutes. So then I'm like at 14, 15 minutes at this point, trying to wait for them to still check my ass into the pain doctor. Mind you, it's been 19 months. When I was pregnant, I was 2 months pregnant. And that pain doctor that I saw said they couldn't see me until after I had my child. I had my child, went back. They said, "We need x-rays of your neck. We're not going to help you till we get that." Goodbye. Then another 8 months to a year went by, and I had not seen that pain doctor. So I'm standing in this freaking office after 19 months of really, truly frustrated that I've gotten no help. I keep being sent home like they want to test my will. Ah! So she comes back and she says, "Well, the doctor's going to see you, but he's not going to write you any pain scripts." I'm fucking pissed at that point because I'm like, wait, what? I don't want pain meds. Do you think I look like a junkie? Okay, I know the hair is not the best right now, but fuck you. Underline, fuck you. So I told the lady, I'm not here for drugs. I'm here for a freaking pain management plan. I'm here for a diagnosis of what the hell to do next, what the hell is wrong. And I threw a shit fit. I said, "You're being ridiculous," to the woman. And then sure enough, finally they bring me back because they know I'm getting pissed at this point. You just don't mess with somebody who's in chronic pain. You don't mess with someone who's in chronic pain. Woo! We're like always on a fucking edge. Let me just say. Woo! The fact I don't smoke cigarettes anymore is just huge because that was like the only other thing me knocking a bitch out. I don't know what else to say, and I'm not violent. Woo! So, the doctors take me back, and before I even get into the room, I'm fucking crying because I'm like, this is just crazy. Was this a waste of time and money? And then the nurse who's going to see me is like, I don't know what the issue is. They're all kind of treating me like, she's just a hothead. She's a Donald Trump. So I get into the room, and I'm just bawling at this. So I'm crying, like, out of my hand. This is bad. The doctor comes in. Oh, I actually express everything to the nurse. They're like, I'm just trying to be seen to get help. I'm not here for drugs. I'm not here to be fucking whisked away to another fucking office or whatever the fuck else. I need answers. I need a plan. I can't live like this. It's a lot to ask for somebody to be in this kind of pain all the time. It's a lot to ask. It's ridiculous, actually. It's slow and utter fucking torture. You try having your back feel like it's got thousands of bee stings every single day of your life, and it never stops. Unless you smoke, unless you're fucking asleep. And even that, not all strands work for my pain. These pills that I'm taking right now do not work for my pain. They take the edge off, meaning I'm not going to hurt someone. But they don't work for my pain. Smoking helps a lot, meaning like immediately I get a little bit of a break from the pain. And probably a good solid hour. Now, 3 hours are when I have really good medicine. It always works for at least 3 hours. That's like as far back as I can remember, a 3-hour window of it working. That's just the way my body processes it. Everybody's different with cannabis, so that's just my point. I know this because of 9 years of using it every single day. Now, you put that on the side and you say, okay, so the doctor comes in. The doctor sees me all upset, and the doctor's like giving me tissue and saying, ma'am, you have every right to be upset. You have every right to be in pain. Because what you have, I don't know if it's been explained to you, and I'm like, what are you talking about I have? What do you mean? Ah! You know? And the doctor says, where'd your clothes go? You took your clothes off? He took his clothes off. He says, you have a condition called spinal stenosis. You weren't explained this? And I'm going, no! Then I'm really crying. I'm really fucking upset at this point. Like, what is going on? Are you serious? Oh my God, why do I keep seeing my primary? She doesn't give a shit to tell me what's really going on. This is insane. This is insane. So then he explains to me by rolling the little skeleton that was in the room over to where I was sitting and explaining to me on each vertebrae in my neck, in my shoulder, in my lower back, where I have issues the whole time. I should have went on disability early. He had been from an early childhood age telling me, Rachel, don't try to strive so hard. There are things that you are going to want to do in life that you're just not capable of doing. And you shouldn't push yourself too hard. And I thought that was a horrible, horrible way to give your granddaughter advice. I thought that was just wrong. And so I would argue with my papa on the phone after Katrina. He was living in Louisiana. I would argue with him on the phone and say, Papa, you just don't understand. I have to try. I have to. Yes, my pain's an issue. Yes, you know, this is years and years before 2010. So like a good 5 years, let's say, before 2010. When 2005 hit and Katrina had happened and I moved to California, Jessica, I know that this is a lot to share, but Jessica was a friend of a mutual family friend, and has been the only one I can truly say that has been through it, standing next to me through the whole bullshit, even lived with me, saw my weight decrease, watched me vomit all the time. All this stuff that we had no answers for. The gastroparesis before it was diagnosed. The whole time, Jessica has believed in chiropractors for many, 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 many years. And I never could get like an actual insurance authorization to actually pay for any chiropractor. I could get referrals like nobody's business years and years into me having disability, but I could never actually get to the doctor. But for all those years prior to me actually going on disability, it was something else to see that Jessica all along kept saying, I believe there's more to this thing about your pain. And I don't know why, but I just feel like it's your neck. She sensed it the whole time. So my papa, Jessica, my mom, so many people in my life saw that there was something that wasn't being diagnosed. That's why it's so triumphantly bullshit for me to feel like, okay, so what do they want me to do? They want me to lose my fucking mind? Don't underestimate a mother. That's all I can tell you. Apparently, that's what needed to happen. God gave me this child so I wouldn't lose my shit. My son is a blessing. And, you know, the fact that I actually carried him and have no permanent paralyzation is insane. The fact that the deterioration I've had on my spine, which we also had even had x-rays and an MRI report of compression of my lower spine to see while I was pregnant, and there wasn't anything. So it's like, I'm just so tired of being told one thing and then them doing another, and I'm just so tired of feeling like in the back of my mind, all these videos and all these recordings might not have some kind of depth. But today is the day that I can say, no indeedy, they have to keep being done. Because we have answers now. If I hadn't have documented all this fucking time, I wouldn't have the evidence I do. So, what does that mean for the future? It's not good. It's not good. It means potential long term. We don't know what the future holds, and I don't know how many surgeries I'm going to get. I don't even know if they're going to allow one. I don't know if the insurance company is going to fight him. I have no idea if, what the risks are. I have nothing. But what I am going to say is that if this doctor I go see on the 7th is a good doctor, and also is willing to allow me to at least document the things I need to, because that's where I'm going with this. Primary is going to have to be documented. All my doctors have to be documented. The things that are going to be done now in my life need some accountability. It's really what it is now. And I'm not going to say sorry anymore for that. And to the people that have sent me lovely emails and been supportive, and the people who have been unsupportive, you don't have a clue what you're even trying to come against. You don't have a clue what my real struggle is, and you don't obviously care, so I'm just going to say it now. There's a door and you can take it, and there's an unsubscribe button, you can push it, and if you'd like to block me, go for it. Because I don't need criticism in my life anymore, at all. I expect that there will be lots of new intruders in my life believing that they can impose their opinion on me. I believe 100% that there are lots of eyes following my life for entertainment. And that's fine. You can stay here for your popcorn. I'm fine with that. I don't even give a shit. Quietly walk away when you're done watching the movie. I don't know what else to say. But when it comes to how seriously this is not fun, I'm being real. This isn't fun. When I think about the long pages of history that I've had to put out there publicly, the bad days I've had, that's not something that you go and document for the fucking fun of it. You document it because you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it. I wouldn't believe it unless I saw it. So what did the doctor say to me about leaving? He said, partial paralyzation could happen again at any time. Full paralyzation could happen at any time. The stenosis that's going on has to be treated with surgery. So, I'm not able to use pain meds. I only use cannabis. I always have an issue having a regular supply of medicine too. And that's because I use it for more than one reason. I can't stand the feeling of being high. I can't stand the feeling of being unfunctioning. And to be completely real, does anybody really need to suffer in pain? No. I mean, my worst enemy, I don't wish that on anybody. So, what is it about this whole reality that is so absolutely dire to share? That I am not the fucking only one. That's it. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one at this age. I'm not the only one with these diseases, conditions, virus, whatever you want to fucking say. I'm not the only one. So, that's why it has to be public, is that I feel like my pain is a voice whether I accept it or not. I don't want to accept the problems I have. I don't have a choice. You have a choice to watch. You have a choice to support the situation. You have a choice as a viewer to be friendly. You have a choice to try to get in the mind of where I'm at. You have a choice. I don't. I don't have a choice to leave the situation. I don't have a choice to walk away from myself because now I have a child. And when I decided to have my son, when I decided to birth him, I knew that this road forward wasn't going to be easy. But now, my determination to be as public and to kind of set an example of you don't need to defend yourself for taking care of yourself. That's kind of where I'm at. This is like not my explanation. This is my reality. So, you know, I don't know what else to say. I am not Coral Reefer. I will never be, you know, this promo queen. I am right here, this person who I've got something to say because I'm actually really truly a patient. I'm actually truly a person. I am really truly someone trying to find my way in life to survive this fucking sentence of pain. Okay? And for that being said, if you, the viewer, cannot understand that and you think it's so awesome to write me a hate mail to try to tell me that I've put my life out there and that I should give every fucking little detail about everything down to my son's father and all that, you know, there were things that I did put out there, and I'm honest to God regretful of it now because that person didn't even deserve that acknowledgement. When it really comes down to it, I'm still doing this alone. So all those videos have actually been taken down for months. And so the ignorance of the person who actually emailed me saying, why aren't you talking more about the son's father? Because it's not your business. It's not your business. What I choose to put out there is my right. And if I take a video down or I post something on Instagram and then take it down, that is my right. Get in the headspace. Understand where I'm coming from. That I'm done defending what is obvious. I don't need to defend myself. I'm actually proud of myself that I've been this public. If I hadn't been this public, I wouldn't have the documents. The 1,000 videos. I have 1,000 videos on YouTube and probably like 600 public. That means there's quite a bit of information you guys haven't even seen because it's so hard to be able to do it. I mean, like, you guys might think that this is just all fun and games and, you know, I enjoy putting myself out there. No, actually, I like literally feel in my fucking core that I am literally speaking to you. Whoever you are on the other side that's got your head hanging over a toilet because of gastroparesis, or you're shitting your fucking weight off because of gastroparesis, or you smoke and you feel guilty and hate the smell of your pipe, but you know it's the only fucking thing that works. I know that feeling. That's what it's about. That's what MsChronicChronicles is about. That is what Rachel Raw Truth is about. The truth. What this life is about. So, I really do pat myself on the back that, you know, I've been going this long. I'm glad that I've taken a lot of time out of vlogging because it also has given me a different perspective. It's the right thing to do. Now, who and what is forward? What is going to happen forward in this lovely world of MsChronicChronicles? I have no idea. I just hope that I can continue to share what I think is necessary to the community. The cannabis community has been amazing. I've got Cannabis Culture following me. I've got Mark Emery following me. So shout outs to you both. I'm going to give you guys a little shout out on Instagram too. You know, you guys are basically, how do I put this? Those two individuals, Mark Emery, right there. Thank you for being a humbling person. And when I've reached out to you, you've actually responded. Thank you. Your wife too. I mean, amazing people. These people have had a struggle on their own. Before I ever went public. So yeah, my point basically in a nutshell is what I tend to put out there, it's deeper than just, hey, guess what's up? It's that I think that there's so much. My head hurts explaining this. How do I even say this? Hold on. There's so much to be said with technology today, how helpful it really is today to not just police, you know, they have body cams and all that fun stuff, but, you know, I think there's something to be said about doctors who don't mind sending you away. There's just something wrong with that. And I can tell you that this pain doctor is pretty serious about seeing me get some results. So I had never even met him before. And mind you, he said, actually, I'd be more pissed if I were you. If I was in your position, frankly, I'd be asking more questions. So the fact that you're upset, the fact that you had a meltdown, the fact that you even chewed my staff out, I understand. And I apologize to him because I don't like being represented that way, but it's like you almost have to go there with doctors and nurses. It's like, in this day and age, addiction is a huge issue. Now, the only thing that I will not accept from any doctors is if they tell me I shouldn't use cannabis. They don't live my fucking life, and they don't have any other answers for me. So that's the only thing that works. And you guys have seen me. I've been vlogging now for an hour. And that medication, I'm not nauseated. I'm able to drink coffee. But my pain it's loud. I mean, it's real loud.